let's start a little more from the top. So Initiator, kind of what's the thing there? How does the Initiator role work? Where are its strengths? What's kind of your job?
Like my job, I feel like is to make the engagement for like the duelists easier. So
Yep.
for example, like when they're running in, I should throw Dizzy up first, and then like maybe like Reyna goes in with Dizzy with like her blind is to get like a different angle, and then should like get a couple picks, and then I follow behind. Like I should follow up like right behind them.
That's exactly what I was hoping you'd say. So cool. So off the rip, like I said, your teammates are gonna be doing things that you can't control, but try to be wary of like their habits early on. Now this is the first round, so it's hard to say, but like our Reyna is immediately just about to sprint through the smoke. We can just see it happening, right? So what's something you could do to immediately like assist that?
Like I should just throw my blind up and then come in with her.
Go ahead and run up and trunk that thing, because like at the end of the day, like she's gonna draw this engagement running through the smoke. She ran through the smoke and immediately just stared left and just looked this way. So obviously she's immediately exposed to the guy that peeks backside, and that's actually exactly what happens. You kind of see it in the lens VOD, right? So I see you try to do it, and that's good. That's good stuff. But just try to be tighter, because like a lot, like try to go ahead and stay closer to these people. Go ahead and like be ready to be with them, because at this point you guys are already going loud, right? There's already a lot of noise. We have no reason to walk at this point. Go ahead and like get close, get ready to go. So, like the second you see him taking this fight and running up, just go with her immediately. Boom, throw that flash through. You're both through the smoke. Luckily, this ISO like isn't very great, so she didn't kill her immediately. But imagine if you had been tighter and you had swung through like this. Where's Gekko? Boom. Like you would have, when this random peek left, you could have immediately like ISO'd this guy out. And killed him, right?
True.
But instead, we were a little behind, and now we end up kind of running through with nothing behind us, and now our duelist dead, and now we have to draw the first engagement. And we kind of just run up and peek, and we get the kill. Cool. But yeah. Another thing. Let's talk about your aim. So what happened here?
My crosshairs bad, and also I think the way I took the fight was bad. Like I should have like this is like taking a corner instead of doing like W or A and
like
D.
jiggling it and stuff.
Yeah, jiggling and like peeking like that.
Yeah, so that's one way. Another thing I want to, so what I really want you to think about, and like this is gonna be a bit more like, so like crosshair placement and like pre-aiming and like jiggling and all that stuff is definitely important. Crosshair placement specifically is very important. But one thing that people don't talk about enough, and this is at all levels of play, is like taking your time. Like you'll see this in like pro matches, even like a lot of it happens in pro matches because the nerve is really high, right? But like notice how like you see this guy and you just kind of like shoot without stopping, and you just start spamming, and like you're not following at all. We're just kind of shooting and hoping it works, right? If you would have like properly taken your time to slow down and like actually aim, you would have killed this guy much quicker with less spam and like less like, what's the word, variables, I guess, right? Does that make sense? So
yeah, for sure.
It's very important for you to build this habit as soon as you possibly can. Like go ahead and start practicing slowing everything down, being a lot more deliberate with our shots, and it's going to really just come into play quickly. And once you get that feeling of like, because a lot of this comes out of confidence, right? Like once you're confident in your aim, you will naturally see yourself slow down. Like if you ever watching Geister in his prime, or just like Cryo now, like how slow they were and methodical their aim was. It's just pretty much raw confidence, because they don't feel like they need to shoot a lot of bullets, and like that's kind of where it comes down to. So this is not the best example because it's a pistol, but this guy's time.
But I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's like,
okay, so what does this flash do? Is this kind of an experiment?
No, this is like, I mean, look, this one I do on defense, because it's usually like to get info, and so I don't know the lineup particularly well on the attack, but in theory my hope is that like this, throwing this up it'll
hit like these spots and stuff.
Yeah, exactly, and like get some information.
So I don't hate the idea, but I want you to look at your minimap here and see what people are already looking at. Like you have your Omen up here, he's clearing literally all these like left angles. Now he could be close, but yours didn't hit that, right? And another one is your Reyna's here looking where kind of straight as well. Like a lot of these angles that this flash is hitting is already cleared, so we kind of just wasted it. Now it's Gekko, you can just pick it up. I know that, which is good, but overall I want you to start thinking about efficiency too, and like really trying to maximize your abilities, because like here we just kind of threw it and like it didn't really do anything.
You're right. That's a good call out. Like I could have thrown it into sight and then maybe grab those two who were sitting at back sight. You could have saved it when you got closer. You could have done a lot of different things. So okay, same kind of thing. Like you did, you got somebody, that's good. So it's not like, let me reiterate, it's not like bad, right? But it could just be higher value. It could be better.
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure. I get it.
Not to mention, we've already learned what have we learned about our Reyna so far? When she gets a kill, what does she do?
Runs,
holds W straight into the site, and gets exactly what happens. So we could have, like you said, you already know this. You pointed this out. Like when we are on the Initiator role, we need to make our duelist life easier. Like you just need to be ready. Just go ahead and keep that flash in your hands. Like And Icebox is one of those weird maps too, where like, obviously, like I'm never gonna tell you to just dry peek things, but like there's just so much shit, so many weird angles people can be on up here, here. Like there's just, you could be in so many different spots. Like it really some point you kind of just want to group up and take those fights together. To an extent at least. And so because of that, it's better to use your flash for these other like specific angles closer in sight, like here and here and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So that's, I would even say that's going to be more value that way anyways.
Yeah, I think I was trying to be efficient in a different way of like, oh, I can get this and then I can use it again.
Yep.
But you're right. Like with the way that my team is playing, or like the way that my Reyna is playing, like she's going in no matter what.
Right.
So we don't have time to play that, right? Like we're going in, and
literally,
and in this case, you're right. Like if I had used it with her, coming in with her, and then taking an angle to like hold down one of her blind spots, that would have been better.
Yeah, and quite literally, the chamber is playing on that really weird close angle, and if you would have like walked up and threw it here, like here, for example, you're gonna hit this. You're gonna hit this angle.
Yeah.
This angle, and if you throw it far enough, I don't know if it'll reach here, but it might get all this too. Maybe.
I think there's a way to throw it from the mid that can go actually to the back of like even farther in.
Maybe, yeah.
And then you can actually clear.
And this is like not the most optimal spot necessarily either, but like in this case it would be good because you also have your Reyna flashes she can use for sight too, right? And you can communicate that. Just say, hey Reyna, make sure you flash us in, because they're throwing this smoke every round, which allows you to walk up a little bit here. I mean, obviously you get spammed, but like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you can get a better angle.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's true.
So nice, good kill.
I just got lucky though, because like the way I took that angle, like I should have been killed.
But I want you to see how like you flicked and you weren't on him, and then you started shooting. Now, obviously, you just missed your flick. You know what I mean? That's fine. Yeah, it happens. But what I do want to point out is we're already seeing sort of a trend where like you just kind of flick over and start shooting and like hope it's on him. So you're gonna find a lot of value, and we'll go over some like drills you can do to like better your aim in this regard to like slow everything down. But yeah, like that's something we're already kind of noticing. Good job getting the orb. Not enough people do this at any elos. Shit. So what's the problem here?
Well, I shouldn't have just been holding that angle. Like we planted already. We had used our util.
So I want you to think like, let's think about layers, right? Like obviously the clock is ticking. They have to defuse the bomb. You have multiple different lines of defense, right? Just options, I guess. Yeah. What options do you have to stall bomb out to wait it out?
So right now, I don't know what KJ's util is, but she used her nano bot. So she used her grenade. So
that's one.
I have my molly.
That's two.
I don't know where her alarm bot is, but I also have wingman still, so like I can throw them if they're diffusing. I use my dizzy here, so like at this point, like dizzy's gone, but I can wait until they diffuse and
basically what I'm getting at is like you have all these things to like slow this round down, and you kind of just like don't do them. In general, like this is not like a good fight because like why do we need to take it? We just don't.
Yeah, it's just pointless. Yep. It's pointless.
We also could have saved our flash, right? Like, boom, whenever she pops the molly. Once that goes by, we throw the flash after, and then when they try and jump on, that's another line of defense. And then all of a sudden, we bank our wingman off the yellow, like we throw it at an angle and it bounces off, it goes and concusses people. We have so much stall here. We just kind of don't force it. We just kind of don't use it. We just kind of make the game harder on ourselves. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, you're entirely right. I remember thinking that after this round, I was like, why was I taking this fight or holding this angle? Like, there's no reason. Like, they have to defuse. We have so much time.
Yep.
And I have util, so like I was just like, this is dumb.
Yep. And then another big thing here. So your cross replacement, I want you to tell me like what's wrong with this. There's a couple things.
Well, I mean, I'm not using the like natural line in the map, right? Like if it should be higher by like
a little bit. Amount. And there's one other really big thing, like big
well,
thing.
Like realistically, if the rain is gonna come in, probably not going to be that close to the corner. Like it's gonna do what they did, which is like they swung in, right?
Yeah, well, exactly. So like I'm holding it too close to the wall. I don't know how fast your reaction time is, but I doubt it's this quick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you're holding a really close angle here, and like the problem is if she does end up swinging it, like you're just gonna have to flick out. You're gonna force yourself to, and that's exactly what happens, right?
Yeah, you're right.
And your flick was like not even that far off, but you didn't even need to flick potentially in the event that you were holding this angle. So go ahead and find and you can practice this in a deathmatch. Straight up hop in a deathmatch and just hold angles, like. And just get used to how fast like people are swinging them and how quick you react. I hold really wide angles. Like I could probably pull up any clip I have. Let me just pull. Oh, this clip is actually nuts. But look how wide I'm holding this angle. You see it?
Yeah, you're like right in the middle of this space.
I'm out. Like I'm far.
Yeah.
Anyways, watch this. This is actually ridiculous.
Oh, that's so lucky.
Oh, insane.
Wait, they just lined up behind each other. Yeah.
Yep, literally. But still, like, notice how far out I'm holding. Like, I am not close to the wall at all.
No, you're right.
I've got my aim
right into you.
Yep, literally. I've gotten my aim so used to the point where, like, I'm so much more confident in my shot because I know where they're going to swing at because my reaction time to it. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, this was frustrating. But I think I should know. There's no reason for me on top of that.
No, this is fine. I actually don't hate this because, yeah. Well, why do you think this is actually kind of good? Why is that? But the reason I don't hate it is because, like, one way we want to, like, look at the game, and this comes in, like, any map, any angle, whatever, like, we never want to take 1v1s, and you already said that earlier, right? Like, we just don't want to do that. That just doesn't make any sense, right? So when you jump up on this angle, if there's a guy here and there's a teammate below you, this guy now has to fight 2 of you, and that's exactly what happened.
Reina should at least trade with this.
Correct.
With this,
exactly.
With this save.
So obviously it's bronze and silver. We can't expect our teammates to trade. But this in general, pathing is not bad because of that reason, right? Because theoretically, you should die here, and this guy should trade you right now, and he doesn't. Now, obviously, like, also ideally, I would let your duelist take that angle first. So, like, I would potentially, to be more, like, particular, and don't put too much attention to this. This is, like, very specific, but it's still just something to consider, is, like, to wait an extra second or two so to make sure that your Rana takes that first contact.
Yeah.
And then you can be the one responsible for the trade, which is more valuable because he's the duelist, you're the initiator, you have more utility. You also just need to value your life more because it's ranked. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's actually funny. Yeah, that's okay though.
Yeah, I know.
We're still seeing a lot of consistency. Same thing. What happened?
For here?
Yeah. What was the problem?
The problem is, like, my. Let me watch it again. My crosshair placement.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Really, I'm just gonna say
a headshot.
Yeah, I'll say aim in general because it's not even that your cross placement's too bad. It's more of your, like, you just kind of start shooting. Like, if you pretty much paid attention to every kill that we have looked at, they have all started with a stray bullet. Every single one of them.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Either a stray bullet or your crosshair isn't on them before you start shooting. That's happened to even the ones that you did get. Some of those happen like that too. You know what I mean?
No, you're right. You're right. Even like that one on that clove.
This is like the biggest thing I'd say right now. Is just like your mechanics is really what it is. Yeah. Like, you actually have a pretty decent brain for everything, considering you're bronze. Like, you have a really good mindset towards, like, how to use your character. But I think a lot of what's holding you back is because you're not as confident in your gun. You're kind of overplaying your abilities usage and stuff, and, like, that's fine. It's causing you, like, you're getting a lot of reps doing it, but we need to start putting them both, bundling those together. I would also potentially say, obviously, I know this is the old VOD, so I can't tell you on the fly to stop doing this flash, but even in your games, like, you should be, one thing you need to be aware of, this is like a self-coaching thing, right? One thing you need to start being aware of is noticing when your abilities are actually being useful and actually being redundant. And in this scenario, we've used this flash multiple times and have not really gotten value. So that's something you need to be able to pick up on the fly and be like, okay, this flash wasn't very good. Let's start trying a different one and start weighing value. And then eventually you'll just figure out what works. You know? Yeah, this is the one you were talking about.
Yeah, this is just like the one of, like, polling for information here. It's just like, put it up, get a thing. Okay, there's at least one person on A. So I can tell my team that.
This is big. So yes, good philosophy. There's like multiple things here that, like, is like wrong, quote unquote. We'll say. I want you to give me a couple of them at least. Think about.
So, I mean, the Killjoy put up their bot here, so that's already something that gets information. So
yep, that's one.
I'm pre-looking up, which maybe I shouldn't be doing.
Also one. Well, yes and no. Like, why is that bad?
Well, in case they, like, were to full send it, I'd be screwed.
Okay. Where's all? Everything. Perfect. I was looking for that fucking button. It's not that you're screwed if they full send it, because Icebox is a big map, but here's something I want you to pay attention to. Let's see, where is it? Spawn barriers. Wonderful. Okay, so.
Oh, the time. Yeah, I put it way too early.
Not even too early. Yes, too early. Yes. Okay, that's true. But the thing is, like, we are starting the round off looking up, right? And we're ready to throw a flash. And theoretically, this isn't bad if it's on a good timing. But the issue is, like, by us sitting back and not, like, doing anything at our barrier, we just give them, like, their spawn barriers here, we basically give them this, like, immediately.
I see.
They just have this for free. And now this is an interesting concept because I don't want you to, like, run up here and, like, throw hands every time, because, like, you're just gonna die a lot. But what I am saying is you're gonna want these players that are flooding through like this and this to not do it for free, at least not think they can do it for free. Because this is why, like, let me just pull up, like, let me see if I can pull up an old game of mine. You know what? I'll pull up our old TSM match. This is old. Good God. I'm going to show you something. So we... You know what? Let's not even do that. Let's see the Soar game. Good. Okay, this is perfect. We got our shit rocked in this series a long fucking time ago. I don't know if you know any of these people. Vic is on C9 now. Thief plays for who?
Yo, I know Thief.
Thief plays for YFP. I mean, yeah. You've probably at least seen some of these players.
Yeah.
So we got absolutely bitched in the series, and a lot of that has to do with the fact that like there's a traditional push and pull in Valorant, right? Like Icebox is not a very great example because let's just actually swap maps for a second. Like this is a good example, A main, right? Like if I want to, let's say as a defense, I'm playing Omen or something, and I want to control this space a little bit, right? Like what should I be doing? What should I do? What's an example of something you can do?
I don't know.
You have to
I'm not like the best at engagements here, but
yeah, you're good. Well, okay, you have to invest something, right? Let's just say that.
Okay, sure.
This isn't free. Like we don't have this when the round starts. If they want to take it, or if I want to control this space, I have to invest something. Commonly is a one way. Have you seen this one way before?
Yes. Of course.
I'm sure you have. So this is an example, right? When I throw this one way, this space is now like sort of mine, right? Now, if the enemy wants to take this space back, what do they have to do?
They also have to invest like
Correct.
a blind or something.
They have to. Oh shit! What the fuck just happened? They have to also invest something, right? This is just not a great example, but let's just say a dart, right? This is like the push and pull of Valorant. And so the reason I'm bringing up this game is because what happened was, this might not have been the perfect example, but a lot of the time, this push and pull when you're playing against better players is really exacerbated because you are going to be like scared. Let's just say you queued into a game and you knew the entire other team were diamonds, right? You'd probably be pretty fucking terrified, right?
Yeah.
You're not going to be playing up on aggressive angles and stuff, right? And on the flip side, if they knew you were bronze, they're going to run it down with no util. So traditionally, when they are trying to take this space, typically they would be using util. They'd throw darts, they'd drone it, whatever. But because they're confident and they think you're bad, this is, like I said, an example, they just ran at you. And that's exactly what happened in this series. I vividly remember it on Split. Is Soar, where like these guys are bad until we gain their respect, we're just going to run at them. And that's exactly what they did. It's not because this team had monumentally better aim than all of us. It's not because we're terrible and don't know what we're doing. It's because we just got bitched is like the best way to put it. They just kind of ran at us because we gave them too much respect. So this is a very broad example, but does that make sense?
No, that makes a lot of sense. So what you're saying essentially here is like I have angles to take that I can hold back their advance on the site, right? But
at least a little bit, yeah.
Because honestly, this weirdly happens like almost every game.
Yeah, it does.
I play on attack or on defense. Like no one in bronze is holding. Like realistically, very few people in bronze are holding this part of the map down. Like the best I usually see is people maybe on like a little bit more on the back of A.
Yeah,
they're on that high part and they're like peeking that angle a little bit, but they're not actively like taking those. They're not actively like holding that sight angle down, right? It's like that's not too hard to evade as the attacker.
Exactly. I was gonna pull the VOD, but I'll do it and I'll just link it to you in a minute. Yes, everything you just said is correct because like why? Yeah, pretty much what you said is right. So the problem is like, if you don't like give them at least a little bit of respect or like a little bit of something to worry about, they're just gonna run it the fuck down. And it's hard, and this is why a lot of people say like silver's hard to climb out of, is because in like high elos, if I know I'm playing against worse players and I run at them, it's because I know that I just am confident that they're bad. These players just don't know any better. That's why they run at you. So is that like that's the problem. So you have to kind of force some respect out of them. I'm not saying you gotta come up here and fight. Like I said, Icebox is not a very good place to do this because of how chaotic it is, specifically on A. But you don't want them to run up for free. I would even say maybe run up here. Even just shooting some pot shots, just jiggling this, like taking a few shots, backing up, maybe playing on like maybe the people that are peeking this angle, for example, like maybe you sit like behind here and like you just kind of like once again take some pot shots, shoot at them a little bit, break their util if they dart. Like this is a common Sova dart you've probably seen in like a pro match or something. Make sure if that is thrown, like break it. Like just don't give them this stuff for free. If that is basically what I'm trying to get at. I wanted to prove like my old game and just like stuff as you'll see as an example for that reason because that's how
that makes sense.
So here's another thing that's interesting, right? Like, why are you pushing this?
Yeah, there's not really a good reason.
No, actually, there's a very good reason. What do you think it is?
So the reason I was pushing this was I was thinking I wanted to get, if I remember what I was thinking here, was like, I want to get info to see if they're actually committing to B.
But here, let's back up. Is this risky?
Yes.
Is the reward high if it works out?
I'd say it's like medium. It's like best case
I
here.
think it's high.
I'm probably trading myself for one
Yeah.
other person.
Exactly. So why did you decide to do it? There's a very obvious reason.
Here it's like I've got the better
Yeah.
angle.
You look at your gun. You have a pistol, right? Like this is not a buy round. You're like, fuck it. I'm just gonna try something here. Yeah. And you were confident because like, fuck it, why not? You don't have another option, and it worked out in your favor.
It's true.
So this is like not a good example of like you should start walking down tube on ecos. That's not what I'm trying to say. What I am trying to say though is you like whenever the like risk wasn't high is when you took more of a like confident play, and I think it's very important for you to understand.
Yeah, so that's what you meant by risk, by like,
yes.
I've got a ghost, and
you're like, fuck it, I got nothing to lose.
Yeah, that is kind of that. You're right. That is like my mentality. It's like if I get a kill, I can steal a gun and I can like.
But if you would have had a rifle, you probably would have not done that because you'd be too scared of like, oh, if I die here, like this is bad.
Yeah, I don't want to give up. I don't want to give up
precisely. You don't give a gun.
The vandal to them. Yeah. At the end of the day, like if I lose a deathmatch, I don't care.
Yeah.
And so in general, yeah, like the stakes overall are like very low, and I can be more confident when the stakes are lower. And then when I'm like playing a comp game and I'm like trying really hard and I care about my rank and I care about getting RR or whatever, like then I'm like, oh shit, like I'm spraying and doing stupid stuff that I shouldn't be doing.
This is true. Yep, you're on the right. Like I said, your mind's in the right spot. It's just gonna come down to more reps. So I would spend a lot of your time just DMing and like getting value, and like that's just what I would do if I was you. You're gonna get so much good shit out of that.
No, it makes sense. I'll try to do those more meticulously. And I think 300 to 500 bots is a good strategy. I don't usually do that, to be honest. I'll do like these other drills, but I think just putting in like
I think you like combine the drills, like the crosshair placement one or like the tracking one. Just do that on the bots. You know what I mean? Like shoot 100 bots and like when you're doing those, just like track the bots like standing still. You can also make a move if you want. It's not a bad idea either because people are moving in your games. That really comes down to like what you want to work on. That's kind of up to you, but still.
Cool.
So
that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I mean that's all I got. Do you have any questions? Anything else you want to ask or talk about?
No, this is great. I also want to be cognizant. I know you have to go to work.
No, you're good. That's why I'm winding down, but I got like 20 more minutes. That's why you're good.
Cool. No, this is good. You give me a lot to work on and to think about, so I'm gonna work on that stuff. I'll definitely work on my mechanics, and I'll send you another VOD later if I'm like an improvement. If I feel like I've improved.
Good, yeah, do it. Like I said, the biggest things I would do is just general mechanical practice. Do a lot of DMs, shoot a lot of bots, and even it doesn't really matter how you do it. I would definitely make it like meaningful, but just do it.
Yeah.
Get reps doing it, and then also like you really have a good approach for like how you're viewing the game as far as like how you want to like coach, or sorry, not how you want to coach, how you want to improve, and like the way you're doing things, like the way you're using your abilities and stuff. Your mindset's good for that. Just continue to like push that a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
And cool. I think you're on the right track, dude. Like you can hit plat quicker than you think. Just get your aim better and you'll be good. Like straight
Sweet,
up.
Man. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, you can always DM me if you have questions or like want to send me clips, or just if you have like a round that you were like, what did I do wrong here? I can send you like whatever all that stuff you can just ask. So
yeah, appreciate it, dude.
Yeah,
thank you so much.
For sure.
Have a good day at work, and
thank you. We'll do our best.
Everyone, give some W's in the chat for Miller, please. That was great. Thank you, dude. I really
of course. Thank you guys too for everybody for tuning in that watched. And of course, dude, just message me if you have anything else. Like I'm always just on and chilling. So
sounds good. All right, I'll see you.
All right, man. Good luck in the games.
Bye. Later.
All right, see ya.